The ground was cold, but her blood was still warm. She lay face down in the dust, her red hair, wet with blood, spread around her like fire on the ground. The golden armor on her back was cracked, her lips were parted, but she wasn't dead, not yet. A distant rumble echoed through the valley, the enemy ship taking off. They had left her there. She blinked slowly. Her golden eyes flickered once. Then darkness again. Hours passed. Then boots. Heavy, human boots. A man walked slowly across the battlefield. Not a soldier, not anymore. Just a scrapper now, collecting metal, bullets, anything worth trading. He stopped when he saw her. A body. He crouched. Another dead one? He mumbled. He reached out to touch her shoulder. She grabbed his wrist. Her hand was cold, but strong. Her golden eyes opened, staring into his soul. "Don't touch me," she growled, barely above a whisper. He froze. She tried to lift herself, but collapsed again. She groaned. Pain filled her voice. Blood dripped from her mouth. "You're not dead," he said. "No, but I will be," she said, coughing, "unless you leave." He looked around. No one else, no camera, no soldier, no rescue team. He made a choice. He picked her up. She was light, but her armor was heavy. He carried her like a broken statue, one he couldn't leave behind. His bunker was deep under the ruins, rusty, dark, but safe. He laid her on a thin bed. She was unconscious now, but breathing. He checked her pulse, stronger now. Somehow, she was healing. He opened a canteen, tilted it over her lips. She slapped it away. "Poison," she whispered. He chuckled. "It's water. Not everything on this planet wants to kill you." She blinked slowly. Her eyes didn't trust him, but she didn't resist the second time. She drank, just a little. He sat down beside her. "What are you?" She closed her eyes. "A mistake. Looks like a damn beautiful one," he said, trying to smile. She opened one eye. "Is that your idea of flirting?" "No." He smirked. "That was my idea of keeping you awake." She sighed. "Don't save me. They'll come back." "Who left you?" he asked. She turned her head away. "My own kind. I failed a mission. Now I'm garbage." He paused. "Well, you don't look like garbage." She looked at him again, this time with a tiny, painful smile. He stood up. "You need food, rest. I'll get what I can." "Wait," she said. He stopped. She looked into his eyes. "If I die, burn the body." He tilted his head. "And if you don't die," she licked her dry lips. "Then, help me kill every last one of them." There was no fear in her voice, just cold, deadly fire. He gave a half smile. "I like that plan better." The next morning, he woke to find her gone from the bed. Panic. He grabbed his gun and rushed out. She was outside, sitting under the sky, looking at the sunrise. The blood was still on her face, her hair wild, her armor still cracked, but she looked alive and dangerous. He walked closer. "You always sneak out after someone saves your life?" She didn't look at him. "I didn't ask you to, no, but you didn't stop me either." She finally looked at him. "Why did you help me?" she asked. He shrugged. "You look like you had more fight in you." Her lips curled. "You humans are strange, and you aliens are hard to kill." She stood slowly. Her legs shook, but she stood. He noticed the blood on her thighs. The wounds were gone. He stared. "Like what you see," she said with a grin. He turned his head, clearing his throat. "Was just checking your injuries." She walked past him, brushing his shoulder with her fingers. Liar. He watched her walk into the shadows of the bunker again, but something told him this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Cliffhanger ending line. As the door closed behind her, she whispered one word under her breath, "Names," and the room got colder. Naughty comment prompt for viewers. He touched her hand. What happens if he touches her lips? Drop your guess in the comments. Asterisk. The lights in the bunker flickered, but her eyes were brighter. She stood in the middle of the room, blood still dried across her jaw, her cracked armor clinging to her like a second skin. Her hair was chaos, a red wave falling across her back, but her voice was calm. "You should have left me there." The human leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "You're welcome." She didn't say thank you, didn't even blink. "I was half dead," she said. You could have stripped me for gear, sold my body, traded my parts. That's what you're kind as with broken things, right? He smirked. You really think I'm that desperate? She stepped forward. You tell me. There was only a foot of space between them now. He could feel her breath, warm, measured. You're lucky I didn't kill you, she whispered. He met her eyes. You're lucky I didn't run. She tilted her head. You're not afraid. Of me, I should be, he replied. But I've seen worse than a bleeding space princess with trust issues. Her smile was slow, dangerous. I'm no princess, she said. Princesses don't crush skulls with their bare hands. Good, he said, because I don't do royalty. She raised an eyebrow. What do you do? He stepped closer, lowering his voice. Strays, lost cousins, survivors. They stared at each other for a long moment. Then her knees buckled. He caught her before she hit the floor. She woke later, lying on a softer bed than before. Cleaner too. He had wrapped her wounds, bandaged her ribs, even cleaned the blood off. Her face mostly. You touched my face, she said. He looked over from the corner where he was sharpening a blade. Yeah, you cleaned me. You were a mess. You touched my lips. He blinked. No, she smirked. You wanted to. He chuckled. Are all aliens this cocky? No, she said. Just the hot ones. He shook his head. You're impossible. She sat up. You're soft. He walked over. You were dying. I was fine. You had metal sticking out of your side. She raised her shirt slightly. No wound. Just flawless skin now. See, she said. Fine. He swallowed hard, looking away. Nice. Regeneration. She leaned closer. You're blushing. I'm not. You are. You're annoying. You like it. He laughed. What is your deal? She went quiet, then looked away. I was supposed to die, she said. They beat me, stabbed me, called me a traitor, and left me for the crows. He sat on the edge of the bed. Why? I failed a mission. Disobeyed a direct order. Refused to execute children. His jaw clenched. And you still call yourself garbage? He asked. She shrugged. Where I come from, mercy is weakness. Then your people are idiots. She blinked at that. You don't know them, she said. I know enough, and I know this. If they come back, I won't let them touch you. She stared at him. No jokes now. Just silence. Then, very softly, you don't even know my name. He smiled. I don't need it to care. That night, she stood in the shower, the water hissing over her skin like rain on fire. He waited outside, not watching, just waiting. She emerged wearing one of his old jackets, far too big, hanging off her shoulder like a forgotten promise. He looked up, feeling better. She nodded. Your soap stinks. You're welcome. She walked over, barefoot. The floor creaked under her steps. He offered her food. She sniffed it, took a bite. Her eyes widened. What is this? Earth's finest invention, he said. Instant noodles. She chewed, then frowned. This is disgusting. But she finished the bowl. Later, she sat on the bed again, pulling a small glowing chip from her armor. He leaned in. What's that? My memory shard. Mission logs. Names, faces, enemies. She nodded. My list. He paused. You planning to kill them all? She looked at him with eyes that burned like stars. Yes. He stood slowly. Need a partner? She looked him up and down. You can barely keep your hands off me. I'll manage. She smiled. Fine. But if you slow me down, I'll gut you. He smiled back. If you die on me again, I'll be pissed. Cliffhanger ending line. She whispered. First name on the list is my sister. And then, she smiled like a wolf with a secret. Comment prompt for viewers. She tasted his noodles. But what else is she hungry for? Drop your guesses in the comments. She wasn't in the bed. Again. He found her in the hangar, barefoot, swinging his crowbar like a sword, shirt half slipped from her shoulder, golden eyes glowing in the dim light. Each swing cracked the air. She moved like a dancer trained in war and pain. When she saw him, she didn't stop. You watching me again? She asked, twirling the crowbar. I live here, he replied, and you're stealing my tools. Borrowing. She corrected. You said I could train. I didn't say you could break the walls. She slammed the crowbar into a steel panel, leaving a dent. I'm not breaking walls, she said. I'm warming up. He tilted his head. For what? for when I find them." She tossed the crowbar. It clattered behind him. Then she walked toward him, slowly. "Do you even know what I am?" she asked. He held his ground. "Not really. I'm a stalker of the Virich Creed, trained since birth to hunt rebels, warlords, humans like you." She got close, too close. Her breath touched his skin. "I can kill in 43 ways without leaving a scar." He looked down at her lips. "And yet, you didn't kill me. Maybe I was tired. Maybe you weren't ready to be alone again." She blinked, caught off guard for half a second. Then she smirked. "Don't psychoanalyze me, meatbag. Don't flirt if you're not serious." She turned away. "Flirting, you wish." Later, he found her in the mess hall, staring at the fire display. He sat beside her, handing her a warm drink. She took it, but didn't sip. "You weren't always a killer." He said. "No." She whispered, "But I got really good at it." She stared into the flames. "I was 10 when they first tested me. Threw me into a pit with a wild Draeger beast. No weapons, just claws." He stayed quiet. "I didn't scream," she said. "Didn't cry, just survived." She finally looked at him. "They said I had promise, so they took away my name and gave me a number." He asked, softly, "What number?" 17. "You don't look like a 17. She chuckled darkly. "I was their 17th. Success. The rest didn't make it. They trained together after that." Days blurred. She learned how to fire earth weapons. He learned how not to get flipped over every time they sparred. They ate together, laughed a little more, but he could tell something was changing. She stared longer, smiled softer, lingered near him, and sometimes she watched him sleep. One night, he caught her watching him. "You don't trust me?" he asked. She leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "I trust you," she said. "Then why are you watching me like I'll disappear?" She didn't answer. "Right away." Then she said, "Because everything I touch vanishes." He stood, walked up to her. "Touch me now," he whispered. She didn't move. He leaned in, close enough to kiss her. She whispered, "You think I'm dangerous? I think you're scared." She looked into his eyes. "I'm always scared, but I never show it." "You just did." Her hand reached for his face, stopped an inch away. Then, slowly, she pulled back. "I can't," she said. "Not yet." He nodded. "I'll wait." The next day, she returned from patrol, furious, threw her blaster across the room, crashed into the table. He ran to her. "What happened?" "I found a trace," she said, "of my sister." He froze. "The one who left you to die, yes. She's alive. Not just alive," she growled. "She's rising, promoted to general. Parades, medals, speeches for betraying me." He clenched his fists. "What do we do?" She looked up, eyes on fire. "We find her. We rip her world apart, from the inside. Cliffhanger ending." "Line," she whispered. "But first, I need to know if you can kill." As she handed him a knife. Naughty comment prompt for viewers. She watches him sleep every night. What happens when he pretends not to be asleep? Drop your theories below. The blade was still in his hand. He hadn't dropped it. Not even after she left the room. She had walked away silently, but her voice still echoed in his ears. "Can you kill for me?" He found her outside, sitting cross-legged under the broken satellite dish, her armor half off, revealing pale skin marked by old scars. Her back was to him. "You didn't answer," she said. "I don't like killing," he replied. "That wasn't the question." She turned her head, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. "You ever killed someone you loved?" she asked. He didn't answer. She stood slowly, brushing off the dust. "You don't talk about your past," she said. "Why?" He shrugged. "Because it's dead." "So was I," she smirked. "Didn't stop you from dragging me back." He stepped closer. "You want to know who I was?" She nodded. He sighed. "Black Ops, before the war, covert missions, silent entries, no names." She blinked. "Human military, no," he said. "Human ghosts." He led her inside, to a room she'd never seen before, a hidden chamber behind a steel panel. Inside were trophies, weapons, IDs, a picture of a squad, blurred faces and burned names. She stared at one name tag, call sign. "Burner, that was you?" she asked. He nodded. "Before I quit." Why'd you stop? He looked at her. Because one day I was ordered to kill a kid, and I couldn't. She stood silent, then whispered, so, we're both traitors. He smiled faintly. Maybe that's why I didn't leave you behind. Later that night, she stood in the shower again. This time, the door was cracked open. She left it that way. He didn't walk in, but he watched her. Silhouette, steam swirling around her like a ghost. And when she stepped out, wearing nothing but one of his old shirts, she found him waiting in the hallway. Comfortable? He asked, dripping. She teased. Wanna help with that? He raised a brow. Thought you hated human weakness. I do, she whispered. But you don't feel weak to me. He said nothing. She stepped closer, close enough to kiss, but did single quotes t. Instead. She dropped something into his hand, a black data shard. He looked at it. What's this? My last mission. Full record. If we're doing this together, you should know what I did. He looked into her eyes. What if I don't like it? She leaned in. Her lips brushed his cheek. Then kill me in my sleep. Hours later, he watched the footage. It showed her, covered in blood, surrounded by soldiers, executing targets with calm precision, until the last frame, a child, cowering, holding a pendant. She froze in the video. Lowered her weapon, then turned on her squad, shot every one of them. The next morning, he was sitting on the floor, holding the pendant from the footage. She had kept it all along. She walked in slowly. You saw it. He nodded. You hate me now. He stood. No. You scared of me. He stepped closer. No. She exhaled. I didn't kill the kid, she said. But I killed everyone else. He put the pendant in her hand. You did what I couldn't. She looked at him like she was seeing him for the first time. And then she kissed him. Not soft, not gentle, like someone who had died once and didn't want to waste another second. When they pulled apart, she whispered, promise me something, anything. He said, when I start the killing, you don't stop me. He brushed her hair back. Only if I get to kill one of them myself. She smiled like a wolf. Deal. Cliffhanger ending line. She handed him a stolen map and whispered, our first target is my sister's warship. Naughty comment prompt. For viewers, he saw her in the shower. What if he stepped in next time? Comment your scene below. They stole the ship at midnight. A rusted junk hauler that smelled like fuel and regret. But it flew. She sat in the co-pilot's seat, legs crossed on the console, sharpening her blade. He was silent. Say it, she whispered. He kept his eyes on the stars. Say what? You think I'm rushing this? I think you're angry. She looked at him. Wouldn't you be? He nodded. I'd burn the whole galaxy. She smirked. That's the plan. They tracked the warship's signal to the Daranox Belt, a shadowy dead zone where deserters and warlords hid in old ships like roaches. Her sister's cruiser floated above a ruined moon. Black, gold, sharp like a dagger. Ceremonial flagship, she said. Trophies inside. Paint on display. He studied the structure. You sure she's on board? She nodded. She likes to sleep near her medals. He loaded his rifle. Let's wake her up. Inside the ship was a palace of steel, red carpets, alien torches, a wall of skulls, and a throne, empty. They moved like shadows. She walked ahead. He watched her back, not just because of danger, but because she moved like a woman dancing with ghosts. They reached the command bridge. Then they heard it. Footsteps, calm, clicking heels, echoing power. And then, her. She entered wearing a black officer's coat, her chin held high, eyes colder than space. Her hair, identical, her face, almost softer. But her smile was pure venom. Well, 17, the sister said. No, one calls me that anymore, she replied. No one calls you anything. Her sister smirked. You're dead, remember? He aimed his gun. Want me to shut her up? Her sister tilted her head. Oh, and you brought a pet. Cute. His eyes narrowed. Careful. She added, my sister bites, only when I'm bored, the alien woman said coldly. The room locked. Red lights bathed the walls. Suddenly, dozens of armored guards stepped out of the shadows. He spun around. Ambush, her sister laughed. You really thought she came here alone, for me? He looked at the alien beside him. Her blade was already drawn, but her hand was shaking. Her sister spoke again. Tell him the truth. 17. Silence. She didn't look at him. I made her an offer. The sister said, bring you in alive, and she comes home. His heart dropped. Tell me it's a lie, he whispered. She met his eyes. It was. She stepped closer. I told her yes, so I could get close. He raised his weapon. Are you lying now? Tension thickened. Her eyes sparkled with something between guilt and rage. Then she tossed her blade. At her sister. It missed, but hit the controls. The lights went black. Alarms howled. Chaos. Gunfire. Smoke. Screams. She grabbed his hand in the dark. I lied to get in, but I won't lie again. He didn't let go. Then let's get out. They fought. Like one. His bullets. Her claws. Together. They reached the extraction point, panting, bleeding. He collapsed behind a crate. She slid beside him. He looked at her. You almost broke me. She wiped blood from his cheek. I was broken first. He nodded. She leaned in. If I ever betray you again, I'll kiss you harder. He whispered. She blinked, then laughed. It was the first time he'd heard her really laugh. Cliffhanger. Ending line. She looked back at the burning ship and whispered, she's still alive. And now she knows we're coming. Naughty comment prompt for viewers. She lied to get close. But what happens if she starts liking the way he feels that close? Guess what she'll do next? In the comments, she hadn't spoken. In hours, they'd landed on a backwater moon barely habitable, always raining, always silent. He patched the wounds on his arm. She sat by the fire, legs pulled close, soaked hair clinging to her face. Her blade lay beside her, untouched. That worried him. You lied to me. He finally said. She didn't look up. I know why you did it. I get it. But damn, you almost handed me over. I didn't, she whispered. You thought about it. Silence. He stared at the fire. I trusted you, he said. With my life. Still no answer. He stood, started walking toward the ship. She called out, wait. He stopped. I didn't lie because I wanted to hurt you, she said. Then why? She looked up, eyes hollow but burning. Because I don't know how to trust someone who actually gives a damn. Later, he found her standing in the rain, soaked, shivering, barefoot. He stepped closer, placed a blanket over her shoulders. I've killed traitors for less, he said softly. She whispered, then why am I still breathing? He didn't answer. She turned to him, eyes wet, but not from the rain. You're not soft, you know. People keep saying that. You're not weak. He stepped closer. And you're not evil, he said. Just as scared to be loved. She flinched like he'd slapped her. I don't do love. You just did. She pushed him. Hard. He didn't move. Then she kissed him. Quick, sharp, like lightning with a taste. Then she stepped back. I'm still dangerous, she warned. He nodded. So am I. That night, she lay in the dark, awake, watching him sleep on the other side of the room. She whispered to the ceiling, he'll leave when he sees what I really am. And yet, she closed her eyes hoping morning would never come. The next day, he wasn't in the room. She panicked, ran to the hallway, and found him with a message chip in his hand. Her message chip. His face was stone. You kept this hidden, he said. Why? She froze. It has coordinates, he added, to your home world. She looked away. It's my failsafe or your escape plan, he said coldly. She walked toward him, slow, careful. I didn't want you to see it, because part of me still hoped I could run. And now, she stopped inches away. Now I hope I can stay. He didn't say anything. So she leaned in. Her hand touched his jaw. I don't want to be a weapon anymore. He looked into her eyes, then stopped aiming at me. She smiled. It hurt her lips, but it was real. I think I like you, she whispered. He smirked. Took you long enough. They kissed again, this time slower, deeper. Not survival, not hunger, just warmth. Just her letting go, and him finally believing she could. Cliffhanger. Ending line. That night, the stars shifted, and the galactic network lit up with a single order: execute subject 17, and the human she loves. Naughty comment prompt for viewers. She said she doesn't do love, but is she about to show him what alien passion really looks like? Drop your predictions in the comments. Asterisk the bounty went viral across the stars. Execute Subject 17. And the human she corrupted. Now every bounty hunter, soldier, merc, and war freak was after them. One kiss, one connection, had triggered a war, and she smiled. She stood at the ship's window. Hair tied, armor tight, scar glowing across her collarbone. Her lips still tasted like him. He stepped beside her. You sure about this? She didn't blink. They wanted a monster. I'll give them one, but not alone. He showed her a small black detonator. She smirked. Is that supposed to impress me? Only if it works. They flew into the heart of it. Her homeworld, Virex Prime. A black marble fortress floating in orbit like a god's tomb. Below, her people watched. Above, her sister waited. They landed hard. Doors blew open. Smoke. Dust. A whole damn army. He stepped out with a rifle. She followed with nothing but her claws. Last chance, he said. We run. We live. No, she said. We stay. I become legend. He laughed. Told you were dramatic. Shut up and kiss me. He did. One last time, and it tasted like goodbye. Inside the throne room, her sister stood with a blade, silver, ceremonial. You came home after all, the sister said. Not for you, she growled. For justice. And him, the sister asked. She glanced at the human. He's the one thing I don't regret. Then he dies first. Her eyes flared golden. Wrong move. The fight was chaos. Blades screamed. Bullets danced. The sister was fast, vicious, but 17, no, she was faster now. She fought not for orders, not for pride, but for him and herself. Her sister fell, bleeding, crushed, broken. She stood over her, breathing hard. You never saw me, did you? She whispered. You were just a tool. I was always more than that. Behind her, gunfire. Her human was down, holding his side. Blood pouring. She ran, slid to him. Don't you dare die on me, she shouted. He smiled weakly. That's your job, remember? She held his face. I'm not dying for you, she whispered. I'm living because of you. She carried him back to the ship. Half the fortress burned behind them. She didn't look back. The ship launched through fire and ruin. He lay on the med bed, alive, just barely. She stood beside him, hair messy, eyes wet. Rest, she said. I'll kill the next wave for you. He groaned. Marry me. Already. She laughed. Her for now, she whispered, leaning close. You owe me 100 noodles and one long shower. Final ending line. They trained her to kill without love, but a human taught her to kill for it. Naughty comment prompt. For viewers, she promised a shower. But does that mean with him or alone? Comment your final fantasy below.